Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, when it comes to our ordinary life, how this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind happening to us. It happened to us because of the desire to see something good, to hear something good, to smell something good, to eat something good, to feel something good, or think something good. And this is what happening. When something experience, when something happened to you, in that moment of experience, if it is not comfortable for you, so right away what is happening, you have intention to find some comfort from detaching from that moment, and you're looking for something else. So that itself leads us to another moment. When we see something beautiful and we become so happy, and with that happiness, what is happening? You bringing the energy to become this I more stronger. When you hear something nice, you enjoy it and thinking and holding this is so good. And at the same time, what is happening? You providing the necessary facilities for your ear to keep continuing. It is just not continuing to this moment to next moment. It keep continuing from beyond the death. And for the smell also the same. Taste also the same. So when you eat, when you eating kind of like tasty things, what happening? Your tongue consciousness become kind of like a stronger, go towards the taste. The feelings the same. With the people also the same. When you associate with the people, then you start to find more and more and more and more. So the mind also the same. Once you start to keep thinking, and then again and again, it will go with the thoughts. But the thing in life, that even though that your happiness with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, creating your next moment, you don't see the suffering come behind this. And sometimes we say that this is my previous karma to see these things with my eyes. And sometimes people say this is my previous karma because of I hear this. And it is my karma that I am living with these people. People say like this. But you don't see how this karma create. Because the bad things has a different way, because you don't go with the bad. You don't have the desire regarding the bad. You always have the desire with the good things. So when you bound to good things, what will happen? It always create your next moment, but it not come alone, only with the good. So wherever the good, it's like wherever the light, the shadow going to be there. So same like wherever the good, always bad going to be there, uncomfort going to be there, unhappiness, sadness, worry going to be there. But the thing is, when you have the uncomfort, unsatisfaction, sadness, worry, disappointment, you wish for the good. That wish happening. That whatever you keep looking, it happening. But you don't see the connection in between the good and bad. It is same thing. But we take it separately. And we take it separately, and then you wishing for the good and thinking that you don't like the bad. And when you wish for the good come with the bad. And then again, what happened? What you create? You create the same situation. There is no end. There is no place. Just only the good exists. It is just the common sense. You don't need any rocket science to understand that. You are enough matured to understand regarding your life. So have you ever aware there is something beautiful? It's really, really beautiful. There's something really nice. And you have 100% opportunity to take it. But at the same time, if you had the wisdom to see, this can happen with the bad also. The bad also come with this. When you have that wisdom, what happening, the idea that you came to in the beginning regarding, oh, this is good, you become more aware without jumping suddenly. So like that, when you wish for good, the mostly we wish the good with the sad mind, unhappy, angry mind. Why? Because we don't like the suffering. And we giving bad credit to suffering. We think suffering as the enemy, suffering innocent. You know, the suffering nature is innocent. There is no options for that. But we are the one who take it as bad. We are the one who, destroy and trying to that make it kind of that more bad. So, but if you look very carefully, that whatever you wish, that is what come with the suffering, unsatisfaction, worry, disappointment. So then, when it comes to the meditation, especially when you come to the 5 aggregates, form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition. So whatever the moment you experience within these 5 aggregates, you start to see this is change. It doesn't matter bad or good. When you come to that point of understanding, you're not going to hate for the moment. You completely accept the moment. In that acceptance, in that very moment, no resistance, and in that very moment, you have no desire to jump out of it. And because of that, what is happening, you from yourself, you don't create any further the future current regarding to build it. Because if you become unhappy, if you become disturbed, then you try to jump out of it and look for another situation. But now you accepting, even in tranquility meditation, we say it, undisturbed mind. So if you have the undisturbed mind, you don't jump out of it. And in the vipassana, you clearly analyze. When you analyze, you don't go away from it. So it doesn't matter good or bad or even neutral. So that is where through this vipassana meditation, you don't create your samsara to future. But if you go with this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, Oh, I want to become good. I want to have a good life, good life, good life, beautiful, nice things. Then you go with this. But you may have nice things, but it's not going to be 100% nice. Maybe in the beginning it is nice, but behind it, a lot of ugly things can happen. So then you have to know the nature of the world. But the thing is, when a desire come to us, that it come with these five aggregates, is kind of like a collision. It connect each other. Everything come together. That's why you cannot, in the beginning, you cannot recognize. But if you practice little by little, slow down, you can observe the body, you can feel the pain, and even that just pain you cannot separately recognize. Sometimes shoulder pain. So you need the body to recognize the pain. My knee pain. So my knee hurt. So you need the knee. Knee is the physical. Otherwise, that you cannot locate the pain. But still you can do in the beginning, and you observe the knee pain, and then you see it little by little, little by little moving and changing. And then knee separate, and you can get the pain. So you need little practice, discipline to get into that. But somehow form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition, this everything come together. That is what you have to recognize, because it is not happening separately. And there are few qualities, 5 qualities in these 5 aggregates. So what are those 5 qualities? One is called ogre. Ogre means like a huge current of the water current, like a river. It's not like the little water path. It's like a Ganges, it's kind of like a Mississippi. It's kind of like a Nile, the river. When it comes, it cannot stop. It's like a tsunami. It has a huge current. That is what called ogre. So you cannot stop it. So that's why form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition, this like ogre, this like a current. You cannot stop it. But once you see it, seeing is something different than controlling and holding or maintaining. So still you can see it. You don't need to jump into that current and hold it. But only thing is vipassana, you just see it. Why? Because it is not only for you. That is the very nature of this human mind. So things happen as like a current, the current, like a ogre, like a river flow. And the second one called yoga. Ogre, yoga. Yoga means it always find a way to do things. That's the very human nature. The yoga means doing. So even if you practice meditation, we call yogi. Whoever practice the method, practitioner, is a yogi. So here yoga means your 5 aggregates have this quality, yoga. That means form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition. It always come to action. Come to action. It never going to be go away or disappear. No, it always going to come to action. Yoga, Oga, the third one called Grantha. So when you hear the Grantha, it's very familiar. Mostly that this Pali word Grantha, people use it for books. Why it called Grantha for books? Because the reason the books are, it's bound to, it's in the, not like today. Today we get glue or pin books like this, bound page together bound. But in early ages, the book was kind of like a bound together like this, you know, it's a page by page they used to bound. That's why I call Grantha, bound together. So 5 aggregates also bound together. It called Grantha. And when it come to action, it doesn't come one thing alone. All 5 things come together. That is the nature of the Grantha. So I'm going to give you an example how this is happening. So this candle, okay, and then we light it. So this is this is the very nature of the 5 aggregates. Okay, so that now the candle here, wax, thread, and the fire, and the around oxygen or the ether or space. So, and when you see it, can you separate the fire from the wax? No, the thread or the oxygen you cannot separate. Why? Because this everything happened together, and this one thing not you cannot separate. So if you slowly start to take the wax out, what will happen to the fire? And start to go down. And the same thing, if you start to move the thread, what will happen? That way also it not going to happen. So this everything come together. So that is what called Grantha. It is, you cannot separate it. So when you experience something, that experience also the same, you cannot separate it, everything together. So form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition. So the recognition also bound to this. So now you see this as a light. So, and then your recognition come to recognize this as a fire. So, and at the same time, so now it disappeared, and now you see the smoke. See, now your consciousness separate to, and you don't see anymore the fire. So you start to see it, and then now you see only this. See that the consciousness keep changing according to the environment and the situation or what you see. So if you think your consciousness you, why you cannot still see the fire? Because the consciousness cannot separately become something like that. The consciousness always go with the necessary conditions from the environment. That is something very important that you have to understand. It is not something that exists separately. No, that if I light this, then you're going to see the fire. And that fire also not happen itself separately. That fire also happen as a result of this everything. So like that, Grantha means this everything happening collision. It's you cannot separate. And moment by moment, your experience, whole life experience like that. But if you little bit slow down and you can catch it, you can see it. Another one is the tanha. So the tanha means, as I mentioned, likeness. I like this, I like this, I like this. So like that likeness is a kind of like a emotion, energy in motion. So tanha is a kind of like a emotion. So once the energy in motion, energy means that in that very moment, whatever you create in it, so it jump forward, motion, changing. So that create the tanha, very nature of the tanha is not solid. It's not going to be in the same. The very nature of the tanha is always try to move. I remember it has a ogre nature, like the current waves, so the river. So, and that also mixed to tanha, then naturally it go with the desire. Emotions go with the desire. And the yoga, it always find a way to get into whatever it want. And the grantha is everything bound together: form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition. And the fifth one is upadana. Upadana means grasping, holding, clinging. It's like glue. So now you see that now you jumping and you have the flow nature like a river, ogre, and you have the nature with this all five aggregates. You have the nature to do it, to make it kind of like action, and then the naturally it come all these five things together, bound together. It's called grantha. And the tanha, it bound with the emotions all over. It's emotions, and then that give the the current more stronger to the flow. And the upadana, and not only the flow, wherever it go, holding and going, holding and going. This is what called your life, your mind. That is what called you living. Those are the five qualities with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you keep doing. So when you come to vipassana meditation, what happening? You start to recognize this. So what is deeply happening in you? So once you recognize it, the very first thing happening, you start to see how this everything happening. And the very important thing, you start to slow down the reaction. See, the yoga, it come to action, and with the desire. So with the tanha, so you stop the action. Why? Because physically, you the bodily, verbally, and mentally action, it need to come out. So when you practice vipassana, what is it? You start to slow down. You naturally it happening. You become little bit, and when you like something, and you know now it can come with something else, so you become little bit slow down. That is a good result you gain. Whatever you want to eat, you become little bit slow down. Maybe before you used to do it, even whatever you want to say, you little bit slow down. When you slow down, what happening? That all the five things that I mentioned: yoga, yoga, grantha, tanha, upadana, all these five qualities start to back up and reduce the strength. And then that will help you to slow down a little bit, and then you slow down. So that way your action come to a point. When you experience, it becomes just the experience without acting. That is what called clear comprehension. You completely come to a point, this with your five aggregates: form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition. So this everything bound together, collision. And with this, there are five nature: Oga, that means current; yoga, come to action; and the grantha, bound together, not come separately; and tanha, with the desire or the emotions; and the upadana, holding, grasping. So once you slow down that, once it become only the experience, these all five things start to neutralize. So when the mind come to a point to neutralize these all five qualities, when your form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition happen itself without this five, you come to a point to see how things come to be as they are. That is where your liberation happens. That is where you start to your your breakthrough. You break happening from this conventional life. So for that, only thing is, remember, when the bad things happen, accept it. That is a you will complete your spiritual journey 50%. Whatever the bad things happen, without, because that is the moment we wish for good. No, don't wish for good, accept it. And you think, I'm going to settle down this somehow, it doesn't matter whatever the cost. Zero tolerance, I go for it, and I take it, I accept it, and go with this. And you will see right away, right away it's going to change. Why? Because you slow down this current. But when the bad things happen, when you look for good, what happening? You jump to again to the samsara. So then it keep going, keep going, keep going. So when the bad things happen, hold it, stay there, accept it, don't go away. Why? You know things not going to be forever. It will change. So, and accept it. And the with that calm, relaxed, comfortable mind, you don't jump for good, you don't look for good. And if you can deal with the bad situation, why you wish for the good? See, conventionally you become more different person. Conventionally you become more stronger, clear person. That clarity will help you to uplift your awareness little by little, little by little. So this is a process. I just, practice point of view, I just give a little example for you to practice little by little, little by little, and somehow develop this art with you. So I hope this will help for you. With that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbaroko vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavatacha ammihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahangotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.